You're gonna butter your bread. Ah, shit.
I am totally keeping that. Welcome to Geek Responsibly, episode 21. I am Bridget.
I am Jenna. Lies, we're not. I'm Bridget.
And I'm Jenna.
She's Jenna.
And we're super excited for you guys to come and join us today for this epic conquest. Yes. So if you have already watched us and this isn't your first time joining, make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already.
It helps us, it supports us, and yeah.
We enjoy you being a part of all of this, as well as you get alerted when we create new content. Yay! Also, if this is your first time, well, go ahead and subscribe, and I'm super excited that we were a part of your first time.
Yeah. Prepare yourself.
Prepare
for your
yourself.
first time.
Giggity.
That's what she said.
If you are here off of another one, make sure that you like and share our content with your friends and family.
Yes, force it on them. Thank you.
With that being said, we're going to go ahead to our first segment. Bridget?
I could hit the button. I don't know how we stay quiet through those.
That was actually a really good one.
This is our face. The whole time like it plays. I know. But
exactly.
I'm kind of sad that we don't get to hear
the sound.
You guys do, but we don't. But like it plays in my head.
To be honest, it probably is better because if we
laugh
did,
every time.
I would laugh because every time that I play the ketchup bottle squirting, he giggles, you giggle, and obviously I always giggle. So probably better that we don't.
Yeah.
Anywho, so on the Weekly Ketchup, this is a great segment for us to kind of catch up,
bullshit,
and see what each other are doing. So, Bridget, what did you do?
For this week, nothing. I was playing more Final Fantasy 14. I'm almost through Heaven's Ward, so yay. So I'm getting closer to the actual content. Besides that, I was editing. I did some editing, which she's allowing me to do now, which is great. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Did you have a chance to go look at, I watched yours.
No,
and
I
laughed
haven't
at
had a chance.
Okay.
And you yell at me every time, but no, seriously, I have not had a chance. I've been getting home every night at 8 or 9 o'clock at night.
I get it.
And I'm just like, bleh.
Yep. Sometimes I sit in bed and just watch them just to see how they were.
Just to put yourself to sleep.
Oh, look at
like a lullaby.
Yeah.
Just of your own voice. Of us
just us cackling.
Shit.
Yeah.
Because cackling.
A lot of the time I was just checking what your goodies are.
My goodies, my goodies, my goodies, not my goodies.
I'm like, oh my god, look at she put this in.
I need to go back and see what you did. Something on the Weekly Ketchup I wanted to share because it just popped up on my Instagram feed today. Queer Eye season 4.
Oh,
tomorrow.
I know. Yep.
Tomorrow.
I know. I'm so excited.
My weekend is already planned.
Real quick, I don't know if you pay attention to their Instagrams. I follow Jonathan Vaness all the time because I love his coffee dances.
Yeah,
in the morning.
Really good.
They make me feel fabulous and like a queen anytime I'm watching them. But have you noticed that I think him and Tony are dating? Anthony?
I haven't noticed that.
They have a new, so I don't know if it's a joke or if it's...
Is it the Love in the Air that I saw Tan doing?
Yes.
I don't know if I haven't looked into it.
And then, I'm so sorry, is it Karambe? The African gentleman, he created something.
Karma, but it's not that.
I always think it's Karma too.
I'm always thinking Karma.
But anywho, he made a joke with Tan, and they were pretending to kiss. Yeah. But that was off of Jonathan and Anthony. They have a new Instagram thing together, and they're always when Bae comes home, and they're full on making out. So I think they're together.
I kind of okay with
that. I am too. I think it's cute. Really cute. So that's one thing. The other thing, I did end up editing and tried rushing everything scheduled before I left for my flight on Monday. Yeah. So that we had all of our social media and everything else. But the thing that I'm super excited for is we have merchandise. All I can think of is Spaceballs, and that's what I'm going to edit in here. Merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that? Merchandising. Come, I'll show you.
So, yeah, because
Spaceball the flamethrower.
So she started Discord chatting me, and the next thing I know, I'm just bombarding you with logos, and you're like, that'll work, something different, what this color? And I'm like, here, all this, and all of a sudden it's here, look, I made stickers. I'm like, oh, sweet. So in a span of 30 minutes.
They're coming in the mail right now for us.
Oh my God.
So we have 3 different stickers. Mm-hmm. We have a 2-tone logo that just says Geek Responsibly. We have a logo that's splatter painted. And then a Weekly Ketchup and I'm trying to get one for
I
each
see.
segment. And the Weekly Ketchup is a ketchup bottle, and the words are in ketchup.
Yeah.
It looks real dope.
Oh my god.
Like, I'm super excited. And on the bottle, it says Geek Responsibly Podcast.
So this is like our first like baby steps of merch. So yeah, it was fun because it took us like 30 minutes, and then like you hyped it, I hyped it, and I feel like if we were, because we were only texting, I feel like if we were on the mic, it would have been like us just getting higher and higher pitch, like oh my god, like that, just super sonic.
And then we'd explode.
Yeah, exactly.
The other thing that I thought was really funny, I know that the whole, which we'll get into in Nerd News for San Diego, but they did the whole Kamehameha.
Avoid it.
Yeah, I know. So with that being said, I was in a plane and I got notified.
I'm sorry.
There wasn't any snakes, but I wish there was.
Speaking of planes, did you hear about the Nintendo thing?
No.
You first, I'll say it.
Okay, so I'm in a plane, and right before I'm about to have to turn off my devices, I get notification that Steve added me to a comment of something. So I was like, oh, what's this? I clicked on it, and it's literally him in our bathroom, and there's empty toilet rolls. So one's
I didn't
empty.
get to click on it yet. I didn't know what that was about.
One's empty. Then he put another one on top of it. You know how you like put the roll on and then that one was empty.
Yeah.
He turned the camera and there was 2 full ones. He decided to take the full one and just put it next to the empty ones. In the comments, I had just enough time to go Kame, Hami, Ha, and then put Dragon Ball Z in there. And I'm like, are you serious? Why would you do this? And then I had to go into the plane. Yeah. I was super upset.
He was like, I can't function.
No. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Yeah. So that happened.
So I think I guess, I mean, it is technically nerd news. Before we go to that officially, so speaking of planes, so Nintendo Switch had partnered with Southwest Airlines, some lucky flight heading to LA, everyone got Nintendo Switches and the new,
real mad.
Yeah, and everyone got the Mario Maker thing for free.
Dang it, I really want to try Mario Maker. It looks so cool because people make like, it's like Little Big Planet.
Yeah, you make your own worlds.
You make your own worlds and then people
Can you imagine? You luck out and you get a voucher. It's like you're getting a free Switch and a game. I shit my pants.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
On the plane. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm gonna go sit in the bathroom now while I play my Switch.
Yeah. Well, you can't play it on the plane. You got a voucher. Whatever. Yeah. You'd be like, excuse me.
You could still play now. Now you can get internet on the plane.
Well, I mean, you didn't physically get it until after. But yeah, I would have been like, poop your pants, and you go, excuse me, or you get it. And you're like,
and touch it. You're like,
you get the voucher.
Excuse me, I just shit myself. I'll be back. Do I have to go through customs again? TSA. You're going to be checked.
Oh my god.
On another note, so I was in Iowa. Very
that sounds
interesting.
exciting.
It was reminded me a lot like home, Wisconsin.
Okay.
So we went to a bar.
Wisconsin.
So we went to a bar, and I forgot how heavily drinkers Midwesterners are.
Yes.
So every time we went to a bar, they were like, oh yeah, it's 2 for 1. It's 2 for 1. It's happy hour. It's 2 for 1. I was like, okay, Jesus. So you literally get a beer and because usually it's like, oh, here's your beer and we'll get you one.
Yeah, when you're done.
Here you go. I'm like, well, now I need to slam this one so this one doesn't get warm.
That's exactly how you drink tea, though.
I know.
You always double fist stuff, so why not?
Luckily, I only drank like 1 or 2 each day. Everybody else had like 5 to 7. And
I'm a lightweight.
They played King's Cup. We found an arcade bar.
That's really
cool. We closed that place. We went to another place.
Is that where you sent me the picture of you as a dude?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. And then I started getting...
Oh my god. We need to talk about that.
Yes. So, actually, we are really hot as men.
So yeah. So
that sounds weird.
This is definitely weekly catch up. I know everyone did the whole like you do the Snapchat and it's you as a dude.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we refound that.
Yeah.
This week, so it was us sending pictures, and I did all these pictures, and I got like super into it, and I started like changing my clothes and like getting a hat.
Laughed so hard when you sent me that. I was like straight up Guido, California.
I know.
I was so excited.
So I did that because then I started sending them to my sister, and I didn't like she knows it's my number, so I just sent like a dude photo, and I was like smirking, and it just said, "Hey girl." Just like I don't know why I thought it was the funniest thing, and then I was sending to you, and then she started sending me hers, and then it was just like us sending dude pictures.
Did you see Steve's?
Oh, I just laughed that you sent yours and you're like, want to smash? Yes.
I did.
It was great.
I did. And I had like this smirk, like, what's up, wanna smash?
I actually had one of my friends DM me on Instagram. She's like, oh my god, you look like somebody. And I was like, bullshit. And she sent a picture of the dude. And we legit looked the same. And I said, I still would. She's like, you got options. I was like, yes.
That is amazing.
So that's like, that was our weekly catch up. I think that's like the freaking star of that.
Yeah.
Was using that filter.
Yeah, and we did the baby one.
Yeah, we did the baby one, but doing the dude one was hilarious.
Steve did one where he was old.
Yeah, everyone was doing the old one. Mark got some crazy, creepy ones, and I refused to do it because I was like, this bitch is ageless, so I'm not ready
No,
to see
I was
that.
real sad. Did you see mine? Did I send it to you?
No, I
Oh,
didn't
God.
see it.
I was like, please burn that. Why are all the guys look great?
No.
The guys look fabulous.
They all
the
look
ones
like
that I
John
saw.
Goodman. No.
I love John Goodman.
No, he's not. He's bad. But I'm
Steve
saying, like,
doesn't. Steve looks hot. I
So-
was like, I'm one lucky girl.
But that's the thing. It's like, I also realized that this old face app happened and all the men were posting. You didn't see a lot of
famous guys.
famous guys, but you didn't see a lot of women. I saw all the dudes going, what do I look like when I'm old? And they're just like posting.
They had like 30 seconds from Mars, and it says like 30 years to Mars or something like that. They changed it. Josh Brolin did it.
Oh, I saw that him and his wife. I saw
yeah.
the one where it's like, I put that one on Twitter of the Avengers, and I thought it was funny that they didn't do it to Paul Rudd. I was like, yeah, he did stop.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That was really funny.
Speaking of not stopping or stop aging, I just saw the new trailer for Top Gun
Oh, I know.
for Maverick. I was like,
Tom Cruise?
weird.
Yeah. He looks the same.
I thought they almost put old makeup on him. I was like, they have to make him look older because he's just
he sold
vampire.
his soul to the devil.
Vampire.
Empire. I never thought of that. Yeah. All right. That note, we are going to end our news.
We can't help it.
It
We
gets
can't.
better every
I know,
time.
I can't.
All right. So, San Diego Comic-Con.
We're going to talk about
2019.
we're going to talk about the thing that you can't get around. It's just there. Just like a con, walking behind someone with giant wings. This is exactly what that is. It's like, can I get past? Can I move? Nope, this is San Diego Comic-Con. We can't avoid it. So
We're just going to embrace it. So, embrace the person in front of you with a bunch of wings. That's what we're saying.
So for Comic-Con, my friends actually are going this year. They're driving down right now, actually. I saw a few things. The thing I'm on the lookout for is a lot of the toy releases of like the new stuff that He-Man and all that kind of things. I'm not sure what's going on with comics. I did find out that unless you publish something, you cannot be an exhibitor.
Really?
Yeah.
Finally. Oh my god, that is actually awesome.
So like
Awesome news.
yeah, so I found out like the guys that own the comic shop down in Maine or Mesa, you can't do an exhibitor because they're not technically.
I know a lot of people that are comic book collectors and they bring all their stuff to cons.
Yeah.
I know you're going to be mad at me, but I actually think this is great. Because a lot of the times people don't know the difference between the actual artist or the artist group or the individuals that will actually sell it for them. And the thing that bothers me is that people buy them from people that didn't create the art or the book or anything like that, but then they literally walk past the creator.
I noticed that a couple cons that I went to is that Artist Alley is kind of sad.
It's
like,
very
you
sad.
really don't notice it, and people just walk right past it. They're there for
their merch.
Well, and we were talking about this at the last episode about it being kind of more commercialized and being like kind of Hollywood. And that's the thing is I feel like Artist Alley is kind of something that some people don't even know about. And they just go right past it because they're there for the con, for the experience. They're there for whatever it may be.
Actresses. That's why I put it in there.
Yeah, and they just kind of go right past the people that are actually creating this content that started it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, I also found out that when Comic-Con started, they were jumping from different places in San Diego, but their first time they had it was 300 attendees.
Oh,
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, and it's a nonprofit, so it was like 300 attendees that they had there, and then it got like bigger and bigger, and I think now it's like 130,000 over the course of 4 days, so it's insane with like
How big it's gotten, yeah.
But do you think it's almost dead?
I don't think it's dead per se. I think it'll always have traction. I think there's a lot of movement in things that shouldn't be. It's very much geared towards movies, TV, things like that.
But you think it's doing that in means of survival. Not necessarily like saying that San Diego Comic-Con's like dead, but like it's like ebb and flowing, and I can understand them taking full advantage of going in that direction because that's the driving pop culture right now is the movies, is the TV shows. So there isn't a lot of spotlight on the actual comic books. And I think the con itself is probably just gonna like ebb and flow and move to what's trendy.
Yeah, probably. Now the thing is that's interesting, like for Umbrella Academy, some people didn't know that that's a comic book. Yeah. So, how do we get away from that?
Everything
is now from a book.
Yes, I feel like everything.
Everything right now, it seems like comic book related.
Everything does, which makes me wonder if like people are getting sick of that. That's the top pop culture. Like everything is.
Yeah. Or a book.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of. I mean, isn't that how it always has been, though?
No,
really,
it wasn't. No, back in the day, it wasn't. And
you're right. There is no
sudden...
Top Gun book that didn't come.
Correct, but so there was so much more creativity back in the day, and this is why I've been like literally struggling and upset for all of these remakes. I'm done. Live action, everything Disney, stop. Like, I want it to be new stories.
And Lion King came out today, and someone asked me, "Are you going to see it?" And I said no because I already know the ending.
Well, yeah, and now they're doing a Hercules one coming up, and now they're going to be doing another. Like, what happened to the new movies? And they're not doing that. What they're doing is they're just taking their old shit and putting other people in it, and then trying to get those heartstrings. Oh, we're going to put Will Smith as the genie.
I mean,
but we're going to do an ode to Robin Williams.
Can you blame them for riding the nostalgia train for their old people, but then also trying to get like the kids? Like,
give them new stuff.
Well, not even that. It's like if I had kids. I wouldn't be showing them live action Aladdin. I'd be showing them the animated one.
Correct.
Like, that's what I would.
So now think about your parents. So my parents would show me all the Disney movies.
Yeah.
My parents didn't grow up with Disney movies. They grew up with other stuff. And guess what? When I got older, I started watching things that they looked into.
Yeah.
Like, and you start watching like Spaceballs and all this other stuff. And you're like, haha, this is so old, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Like to watch it. So I don't think we should be making out new stuff that is just remakes of the things that we already have. You guys start be creative and do your own stuff, because what's going to happen the following? You're going to do another live action Little Mermaid?
And they're talking about that like going into TV. I think WB is talking about redoing like Family Matter, like with Urkel and all that. They're talking about redoing that. Like, I don't want them to do
just leave it how it
Full
lies.
House and like all that stuff.
Fuller House.
Well, that's not necessarily a remake.
Yeah, but they already did it.
Well, and then they're talking about doing like Lost Boys as a TV show. Like, how do you feel about that? It's not the movie, but it's a TV show, but it's still like the same characters.
Kind of. It depends on how they go with that, because they can't have the same characters.
They're gonna have an animated Gremlins, Mogwai.
And they already had animated Gremlins.
Well, they're talking about
Gargoyles. Never mind. Gargoyles.
Yeah,
that was it.
Not
Gremlins.
By the way, Gargoyles.
I know.
So,
do you remember Jabberjaws?
No, I remember Street Sharks though.
That's what I meant. Street Shark.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I had a couple of their action figures. But yeah, no, it feels like everything's kind of attached to comic books.
Yes.
And yeah. Happens. Is there anything you're excited about Comic-Con? Or
I always get excited. I always get excited for, well, one, I'm not there, so I can't get anything.
FOMO.
I don't know anybody who is there, so I can't ask them to get anything. Which I normally do.
You sound so salty.
Merca, good shout out to her. She has the full side of Image Comics booth of Unnatural.
Okay.
And I'm super excited for her new books that are coming out. Image Comics is always where I go first and try and snag up all the ones that I want. But Scotty Young, super awesome. And I always get his figures, which I am not there, so I can't get them. And yeah, tear. He has Middle West. That one was a newer one, and that one's badass. So there's like a bunch of people that are there that I definitely... Oh, Ryan Kincaid. He's also one that if you guys are at San Diego Comic-Con...
We hate you. No, I'm just
Yes.
kidding.
He has amazing shit that he is creating, and I don't know who else is out there. I kind of just like dropped
kind of everyone is, except for, DC.
Not everyone. But yeah.
It seems big. I'm also realizing there's a lot of big names not going to be there this year, and it makes me wonder if some of them are like, hey, you know what? It's not like we are going to kind of pull back and figure out different ways because now you've got Disney doing a convention. So it makes me wonder that if San Diego is going to eventually kind of fade into the background because you're going to have everyone else doing. You got BlizzCon, that's like a huge thing. Disney's going to do something that's going to be massive.
Yeah.
Why not? Because guess what? When Disney does a con, it's going to be all Marvel.
Well, not only that, how many people are super into dressing like Disney characters and can't go to Disney?
But now all of my couples.
Yeah, but now they can go to this convention and just
dress like the characters.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's what I would do.
That's very true.
So there's a ton of things now with San Diego Comic-Con. What do you enjoy going to? Do you like seeing what events are going on, what people are doing?
The few times that, like the one time I got to go, I really enjoyed going, not necessarily Hall H, but I liked going to the panels and finding out what was coming up on TV. Mm-hmm. So it's like, that's when I learned about the next season or series of Avatar at the time, like Legend of Korra. And that was really cool to sit through because they were giving you like what the artwork was going to be and kind of behind the scenes characters. So I kind of like that. I like kind of going in and learning about upcoming stuff. It's hard because I'm kind of anxious on the floor. I don't necessarily like being on the floor. Yeah, because the crowds are pretty big. And I'm also starstruck, so I can't handle seeing people that are even a tiny bit famous.
Yeah, tiny. Yeah.
Fucking voice actor for Become Human, Detroit Become Human. I saw him walk outside and I lost my shit. I saw one of the guys from Star Trek, Discovery, and I'm just like, oh my god, I know him. I don't know him. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna ruin his day if I go over. And I didn't go over because I just...
Aww, that's super cute.
So not only anxiety of crowds, but then anxiety of like famous people. So it's a horrible place for me to be overall. Like that's just like, it's not good.
Yeah.
Though I love being there, I just can't like emotionally handle it.
And you definitely can't go just one day. Like that's something that you literally have to dedicate 2 to 3 days for. Just because you get around everything. There's so much.
So much.
Not only that, then they have schedules of certain things. So it just depends on what you're wanting to focus on. Do you want to look at actors? Do you want comics? Things like that. Like, overwhelming.
I still think, we talked about this last year, I love BlizzCon. I love what they do. I still think San Diego should do this thing where they get like connected with DirecTV or whatever, and they televise some of their shit. Honestly,
that would be great.
I think it'd be amazing. Every year we don't get to BlizzCon, but we get to sit there and watch like the cosplay, like everyone going and like walking on the stage. And I think that'd be really cool if they did something like that with Comic-Con, even if it's not like big Hall H, whatever the hell it is. Like,
yeah, you just get
nice
little things. But then they'd also be making money because most people pay for that shit.
I wonder if they can't though, because it's supposed to be nonprofit.
I don't know.
Didn't think that through. All right, that's fine.
Whatever. On that note, I'm super excited though in September for TwitchCon.
Yes, you get to go and get to like meet people that you watch on Twitch all the time.
Yeah, and people I've already reached out to were like, "Yeah, let's go hang out and have a beer or something."
I'm so
like,
excited for you, and I have no idea exactly like what that's gonna be like.
I kind of want to put a GoPro on me.
Do it
and see if that will.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I might, and then I can bring everybody, and I might just
TwitchCon.
I think I might.
So you just like have the body cam, so then I can see it
for all those people that can't be there.
Yeah. Put it on your head.
That would be awesome. Right here? Oh, I was thinking like here.
No, just here and like, hi, oh my god, I'm Jenna, and you just like,
that's
you can
awesome.
you can be ridiculous.
People are already, The other thing too, speaking of TwitchCon, I was invited to the AZ streaming community.
Ooh.
And they're doing a get together this Saturday at Dave & Buster's, and I'm really nervous to meet like okay, the thing that I'm a little nervous about is like this is easy. Right?
She's showing
this
her
whole
monitors.
computer. This whole computer, I can talk and look at myself.
Yeah.
And it's not real. When I have to go to somewhere and see people straight up and they go, "Hi, I'm, the Huku," then I'm like, I almost get starstruck.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
I've seen you.
oh my God,
Yeah.
I watch you, I follow you, I subscribe to your channel, and now you're talking to me.
Yeah.
And you're in Arizona.
Yeah.
I am sitting here drinking a beer with you or something. Like, I don't know how I'm going to take it, but a bunch of people are already asking me to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, a little nervous, anxious. I'm like,
You should go. I think you'll be fun. You get to meet people. It's like when I do like the big whippa stuff and like I go and I see a photographer that I've been following and then I see them and they're like, oh, hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Right?
And then it's just like, I can't handle it.
yeah, totally get it. Okay. So I just need to get that off my chest. Because I was a little nervous and I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to get over there.
No, you'll have fun. I think it'll be so much fun. It'll be good because then you can meet people and then
Let
like
everybody know how retarded I was.
No,
when I was when I was there.
You're fine.
Age struck. Cool. Well then, in that case, let's go to Paperback Mountain. That's the longest one.
That is the longest one.
Paperback Mountain.
We purposely made those title cards so you didn't have to do that. Okay,
The title card has a dream harp.
You're right. It doesn't have the creature.
Yes.
It's
So-
all right. It's fine.
Only because I thought the dream harp would be more fantasy related.
Has to
Also, I am, as I mentioned before, making a merch store. And because we have a Weekly Ketchup sticker, I want to get one for In Nerd News, Paperback Mountain, and Race Class Alignment. So I will go over that with you. I sat and wrote it all on the plane.
Oh my goodness.
Things that I wanted to do. Anyhow,
You had too much time.
Paperback Mountain. We are going to go and ask Bridget how she's been with Harry Potter.
You're gonna be disappointed. So the last time we left off, Potter Packed, last time we left off together was he had just gotten the egg, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wanna know how far I am?
He just opened the egg.
He just opened the egg.
Yay!
That was
that
longer.
with Screaming Myrtle?
Yes.
Is that Myrtle? Okay.
It was
Did he put it under the
Moaning-
water?
He did. Moaning Myrtle, it was under the water. Now, what I was very surprised with is in the movie, very quickly, because the whole ball, like Christmas thing happens. And
that
like
doesn't
going through
do that in the book.
No, like I'm going through the book. I'm like, okay, so I have an idea because like unfortunately the movie plays in my head. So like I'm knowing like okay that's gonna come up, and I'm just like going through this chapter, and I'm like, isn't he not opening it? Harry, you have like 6 months. Open this shit, and like it's getting closer. I'm like, Harry, you have like 3 months. Fucking open the egg. And then he's like, no, I'll do it later. I have so much time. And I'm like, Harry, open the fucking egg. So I'm like, I feel like I felt like Hermione because she's like, what are you doing? I hope you got it figured out yet. And he's like lying to everyone. He's like, oh, I'm so close to figuring it out. And I'm like screaming at the book. I'm like, dude,
It's cool,
open
huh?
it. It is
It's
cool.
totally different, and
it does help. Like it's expanding the universe in my head, and it's giving me more detail than what I had from the movie. The problem I'm having is because I know the movie, and that's my first like.
That's kind of. I never thought of that. That's kind of crummy because I know if I watch the movie before I read a book,
You're gonna pull
I have the same
characters.
thing too. Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's the thing. It's like there's a part of me that wished I never saw the movies and then read this first because you had that experience, and because now I'm like, one, I know what's gonna happen, which kind of sucks. But then I'm also like, I don't want to feel like I'm rushing myself through the book. And I was like, come on, like why isn't this doing it? But then like, I try to like stop and take a second and just let it like happen and try to like forget.
Yeah.
So I didn't get very far, but I thought that was a lot of reading. My brain hurt a little bit.
Good.
Yeah, it was a lot. So I'm hoping to keep trucking along. I want to get through it because I'm excited because I haven't even read this fucking book yet. The Slayer book, they just announced that there's a sequel book coming out.
Oh, the Buffy one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I haven't even read it. I went out and bought it after I saw you had it. And I was like, and I read the back and I went out and bought it. Yes. So I have that, and I've been telling myself, you're not reading anything else till you finish Harry Potter. Now I'm sitting here going, ugh, like I really want to finish. And now it's like, okay, well, Slayer's sitting here, and they're like, oh, the second one's gonna come out pre-order. I'm like, oh my god, I haven't even read this. I still need to read like 3 other books. I'm like, like it's kind of.
She's getting to be like me.
Oh no, is that what it feels like?
Yes, this is what it feels like when a dove cries. But I'm very proud of you.
Romeo and Juliet. Sorry, I had to get it
because
out.
now you're getting to that point where
I feel
like
rushed.
I see pre-orders and I'll pre-order them on Amazon,
Yeah.
but I'm like, okay, I got to make sure that I get all these other ones taken
I
care
didn't
of.
commit to it yet, but I was just like, I was excited for a book I haven't even read yet for the sequel.
Yeah.
It's because it's Buffy.
I know.
I love it. I felt like Buffy the other day that I purposely dressed like her.
Good.
Like, and I was just like walking around slaying today.
Yeah, and your hair's getting close to the
Yeah,
color.
that's like, I like got dressed and I like looked in the mirror and I was like, oh, it's like a little Buffy blonde, and I'm just like, slay. I loved it.
I think it's awesome. So the other thing that we had touched base on last Paperback Mountain.
It's like we can't get
Can't get
past.
rid of
We
these
can't get
things.
past the books that we're currently reading.
So I already finished this one, but because I went traveling, came back up.
Mhm.
People remember that I was not a huge fan of Simon versus Homo sapiens agenda. And then it got to the end and I like was able to speed up my Audible book, and I actually enjoyed it, and it was a decent ending. And like structure of, and she was a really good writer. It was just that I wasn't too fond of the Audible book and like the kid reading it and whatever else.
Okay.
I think it was an older person that was reading it. Or like a
You just weren't. You just
I
didn't
wasn't-
connect.
yeah.
To it. Yeah.
wasn't good. I finally sped it up and it got better. Now, I was in the plane. I fell asleep for like, so, oh god. Yeah, this happened. Oh man. So, we were having delay in flights. Iowa had a storm. We literally had so much turbulence. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking die. Like, yeah. I literally took more Dramamine and we were like in our plane seats, like
I
going
had
like
that
this.
on the way back from it's the worst I've ever had.
Horrific.
I was like, I'm legit gonna die.
I know. I was like, I'm going to die in Iowa. Cedar Rapids. What? No, I
That's
can't
where
go
it
out
goes.
this way. Finally, we were fine. We got back to or into Dallas, and I was like, all right, we only have like 40 minutes to go get some food, smash it, and then
Yeah.
get on the plane. So I'm legit crouched, Schmeagle style. Non-stop eating this fucking Shake Shack.
Schmeagle was the good one. It would be
Oh,
Golum.
Golum,
style.
you're right. Golum. I was like literally like this.
Jesus.
And I was like, okay, French fries, burger. And then I was like, shake, cool. I get on the plane. I got the itis like that.
The what?
Itis.
The itis.
You eat and you gotta sleep.
Oh,
'Cause
I've
so
never
much-
heard of that.
Have you ever had it where you like eat such heavy food?
Thanksgiving. That's what that's for.
That's the itis.
I didn't know it was
People,
called that.
so if people, it became a thing because a lot of people were eating comfort Southern food.
Yeah.
Like your biscuits and gravy and things like that. And then you get the itis and you gotta sleep right after.
Never heard of that.
It's totally a
being called that.
thing. They actually have it on, I'll have to show you a TV show called, oh, what the hell is it called? I'll show you, but they have like a restaurant. They create a restaurant and they literally start putting beds in the restaurant.
Oh my
So
God.
after you eat, you just pass out and then the whole town goes to shit because nobody's going to work. They're just going and getting food at this place and getting the itis and sleeping after. So bad. But anywho,
Boondocks.
that's it.
Boondocks?
Boondock Saints.
Not Saints. Saints is the.
Oh yeah, you're right. Boondocks.
Boondock
The
Saints is the.
Boondock Saints is Icarus.
Saint
Yeah. Yep.
Spirit of Santi.
Anywho, so I totally get the itis, pass out for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Wake up and I'm like, whoa, what just happened? I didn't even know I was sleeping. Like, I don't know what I did over here with these two people sitting next to me. Like, was I snoring? Did I fart on them by accident? I had no idea. But anywho, so I was like, all right, what do I do for now for an hour and 20 minutes? I was like, oh, they got this free entertainment.
Yeah.
So I like went in there and I was like flipping through the movies.
By the way, some of the stuff on the flights now are getting really awesome. Like having
They have games
having
on
the
there?
games and having the movies. Like
Yeah.
even for like small. Like 'cause I first noticed it going like out of the country.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is rad. Why aren't they doing this all
They
the
are.
time? And then now I see them doing it now. It's like, yes,
Yeah.
movies.
So I had Bejeweled on mine, and then at the first flight, and then this one I was like, well, I'm gonna do it on my phone because they didn't have it built in.
Okay. It's kind of lame, but whatever.
Yeah. So I was like, oh man, damn it, there's that Love, Simon, based off of that book. Well, you know, if I fall asleep, not a big deal. I was there like this, like watching it. Then I started tearing up at certain parts when he was like telling him that, because again, in the book, it's the way that he comes out is not the same as what they did in the movie. obviously.
Okay.
So the book and the movie aren't exactly the same.
Okay.
But the way that they made the movie, it was pretty decent. And I was like sitting here, and it's Jennifer Garner, and the other dude that's the dad is real cool.
Okay.
The kid was really awesome, and they made him a little bit stronger as a character than in the book, where he's kind of like, oh, I can't tell anybody, I can't tell my friends, I can't believe he's, blackmailing me. But in the movie, he was just like, why would you do this, blah, 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 and like calling this guy out.
Did you like it better than the book?
It was actually pretty decent. I say they were the same.
Okay.
But I remember I was like sitting there like this, like wiping my eyes. I had long sleeve.
Do you do these ones?
I had a long sleeve.
Do you ever do one of these? Like,
no. I had long sleeve and it was going like
and
this.
It's up over the fingers.
Over the fingers, and I was like da da da. And then all of a sudden, and then I kind of like scrubbed through a little bit because we were getting closer.
But like, I want to paint this picture because this is how I'm imagining it. So you have over the
my
fingers.
Phone. My phone in this.
But you have like your stuff over the fingers.
Yes.
Because that's for crying. But then like as you start crying, you do one of these and you like hunker into like the corner.
Yeah.
And you're like watching. Like,
yeah. I was like, oh yeah, nothing to see here. It's cool. It's cool. And then I'm like going like this, and I kept like trying to like maneuver my head.
I do that if you're watching a movie and it's like naughty parts happen, and you're just like. Like you don't want anyone else to see. You're like, I'm not a pervert. Like I don't want anyone else on this plane to know I'm a pervert.
Yes.
Like, sorry.
It was pretty good though. I actually didn't mind it, and it was a decent movie. I would say watch it if you ever have like a rainy day and want to just have a interesting.
A good cry.
Yeah, and the characters are really cute too. So they did a good job.
So, would Love, Simon be considered young adult?
Young Simon is in the young adult section where most of my books are that I get.
Now, I wanted to ask this question because I know you read a lot of young adult books.
Yes.
And a lot of my friends know that I now read some, and it's like opened the floodgate of like, oh, you read this? And then people are like, oh, no, it's okay, I do too. Like, it's weird that some people don't like talking.
So, one thing that I will let you know, just because you're slowly coming into this realm, but young adult is the biggest genre currently that people are selling from.
Okay.
So what authors are doing is they're writing a book, and it might not be young adult.
Yeah.
And they're labeling it young adult so that it'll be placed on there so that people will get it.
That makes sense, because some of them I've come across where I was like, whoa, dang.
Yes.
This is
so all those that have a
mature.
little bit of raunchy shit in it, you're like, wait a minute. Like
these are supposed to be high schoolers. Why are they doing those things?
Yes. So they weren't supposed to be labeled as young adult, but because that is the highest, most revenue genre,
that's what everyone's
authors
going to.
And their publishers are saying, we have to put this as young adult.
So, and I do feel like it's the biggest genre, which always seems like the smallest part of Bookman's. That's gone. Barnes and Noble.
Bookman's is still there.
Is it still there? No, it's not.
Bookman's?
I mean, Booksman. Sorry,
You meant Borders.
I was thinking Borders.
I got you though.
Oh my god,
I got you.
Remember Borders?
Oh, I remember Borders.
So like you go in and you go to Barnes and Noble, and I feel like young adult is like kind of small, but then it seems like everyone does read them. But then I'm wondering, like, what if you're not wanting to read young adults? Are there other genres that people can get into? And like, can you give some examples of like genres in a book that would be a good like transition or like dipping your toe in the water?
Yes. So
because I don't read enough.
One, everybody does young adult right now. That's one of the biggest genres. And the thing that you can find in young adult is you've got your teen angst, you've got your young love, you've got your
supernatural
college, you've got your
normal
sci-fi, you've got your real life situation. So it just depends because there's such a huge array from one end to the other that you could go there and find something. Now, I love sci-fi.
I was going to say, to make it easier outside of young adult, what are your favorites?
I love romance and I love sci-fi.
Okay.
Sometimes with romance, you can get a little sticky because you get into those really, really old school romance where you're like, oh, my grandma used to read this.
I personally love those.
Yeah. Some of them are okay.
I like the smut, though. Are you talking about Pride and Prejudice, though?
So that's
romance?
That's not romance.
Okay.
So
I never read it.
Perfect.
It's like, don't hit me.
Have, but it's not that great.
Okay.
But so romance, you can have some that are a little just weird. I'm not a huge fan of, I think her name's Sylvia Day. But she has great ones that are like, so again, this may be something that we'll have to deep dive.
Yeah.
Because let me just tell you, if you are interested in romance, there's different types of romance, such as boss, such as, so like, yeah. There's also father, kid, yeah. Stepfathers.
Wait, this is getting weird.
I'm telling you. So if you have never gone into actually seeing what they have in there, there's, okay, so 50 Shades of Grey. Okay.
That's probably pretty much.
That's boss.
Yeah.
So
okay. Yeah.
As you're looking at it, it's more of like he is going to control the person. So if you like more of those, oh, she's very like, oh, protect me. There's that genre of romance. Then there's
like you're saying this and I'm like going back and remembering like the ones that my mom would get, and then I would get, she'd give me those like, you know, what are dime ones. And like I'm like when you're saying it, I'm realizing like how many of them are like boss. Yeah. Because the girls are like stolen by pirates or whatever they're at, and they're usually like, they're supposed to be like strong women, like, oh, I can't believe you kidnapped me, but they kind of end up like, the guy's like, shut your mouth, you like it, and she's like, hey, I do. It's interesting.
What happened to 50 Shades? She was like super strong-ish.
Yeah.
And then
I'm not
going
to sign that contract.
Yeah. Oh wait, butt stuff? Yes. So
that's what got her on there.
Yeah, she's like, what's a butt plug?
I'm not doing any of this. Oh, butt stuff? Sign me up.
There's cowboys. So if people like cowboys, there's a bunch of them about just cowboys. I get stranded on the side of the road and this cowboy just came up. Oh! Yeah. See? So that happens. But it also is a part of sci-fi.
I've read some weird sci-fi romance.
I've read some weird sci-fi romance as well.
You take a step back and you're like, I just read that.
Yeah. Yep. But sci-fi has different types of like things too. Do you like space? Or do you like fantasy?
Heck, yes, I like space.
Right? But I am more fantasy where Steve is more space.
Yeah.
So I like, you know, Mists of Avalon and Name of the Wind, where some people really like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe and things like that. There's so many different ranges in parts of the library, the bookstore, anything. So you have to start like, and that's why people read so much, is because I feel like it's like dating.
Yeah.
So you get a book and you absolutely love it, and that book breaks up with you. Then you're devastated and you don't want to get out there, but you have to, and you have to live once again. And then all of a sudden you start reading another one, and I'm like, damn, this is not as good. Well, my friends told me you were good, so
you are exactly right. That is a good analogy.
Yeah.
Because you're going on dates and you're kind of like blind dating, because I have a hard time blind dating books.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't really know.
You don't want to invest
start
in it. Do I even want to do this?
Yes, I don't want to invest it. I don't want to go into.
I lost all my friends in this one.
Yeah, I don't want to do that commitment. So then I have all these friends who are saying, "Oh, this book," and they're all young adult, and I'm like, well, I kind of want to look into this genre, and I end up going back to the ones that.
The young adults.
Well, not young adults, but like I end up going back to books and rereading the ones that I enjoy.
Yes.
So like I go back to that toxic relationship.
Yeah. Yes,
that you know is gonna end.
It's gonna always disappoint you because they either are ended or something happens that you didn't like it happening.
Or it's like you go back and you reminisce on the relationship. You're like, oh, well, that was fun.
The other thing too is like a lot of times when I start a new book, there's so much writing on that already, because I'm like with Simon. I was like, Will Grayson. Freaking badass book. I want it to be like that. Maybe that's why I was disappointed, because it didn't align. It wasn't the same book. And then there's mystery books. I actually love mystery books, but certain ones. So Janet Ivanovich, One for the Money. That's probably one of my favorite series because it's so intricate, and she takes her time to follow the Chicago Police Department and put their stories in hers. So while she's out there on the field, she'll actually go and put these mysteries or like bounties and things that have happened in the Chicago PD into her book. But now it's funny because the girl that is the main character, Stephanie Plum, she is ridiculous. She's a horrible bounty she's a bounty hunter, and she hooks up with an ex prostitute named Lula who always is on a new diet and always is trying to do different things. And she's just this funny, big old African-American chick.
Interesting.
So they're like running once from these dogs.
Yeah.
But she was on the new Atkins diet. And so she has like all this meat in her purse. And Stephanie's like running like, just drop the bacon. She's like, that's my bacon. Like, it's just really funny while they're trying to catch perps. Like, it's just a really good series. But, you know, there's times also that you need new things and different things. So I like going and jumping around.
I think I'm just kind of nervous to do it because, like, I know there's
just have
an
to
adult.
ask.
Yeah.
Now, I think also you need friends that actually read more than just young adult, which I'm right.
Yeah, you're probably the only one. Otherwise, I have a friend who reads The Shining every time she's in between books. And I was like, really?
That's an interesting one. That one's scary.
And she said that.
Carrie is also scary to
But
read.
she said that, and I did not anticipate her to say that. Of all the books, I'm like...
Have you read it?
No.
It's
But,
actually...
like, hearing her say that she goes back every time, it's like her breakup boyfriend. She goes back to that book every time in between her books. She's like, I read this book, I go back to The Shining, I read the next one, I go back to The Shining. And I was like...
Interesting.
And then I'm sitting there going, I never read it. Maybe I should.
Yeah.
For someone that's going back every time in between, I thought it was very intriguing.
Yeah. And just make sure, because sometimes I think a lot of it is emotionally where we're at. So for certain people, if she falls onto that one for some reason, there could be a reason why. For me, I like teen angst books because I'm always trying to fix that hurt part of myself that I went through high school in. And so it always is something, even in TV series, that I like really get drawn to because I can relate.
Now, guys. Getting deep.
Yeah.
For
sure.
Yeah, because the only thing, like, I feel like if I was going to sit there and recommend anything, the only thing I can really recommend as far as like books is like, well, I've read Children of Dune. I really enjoy that stuff. And then for me, because a lot of my time is based off of video games, when I started going into the book genre, it was based off that. So it's like I read all the Halo books, which were really good. And it's kind of because it's like diving into a universe I was already comfortable with.
Yeah, and you're familiar with and know the characters. So it's
feel,
again, you're like trying to get...
Do you feel like that's a good way, like if you are just trying to like branch out and start reading more books in general, that maybe you do start with a universe that you're comfortable with?
Yeah.
Or like go, you know what, F it, I'm just gonna go somewhere and go hard. Like just get one from each genre and like find something.
I wouldn't do one for each genre. What I would do is I would get on Goodreads. This is what I do. I get on Goodreads. I have a good following that I like already have, and I watch what people are reading.
Okay.
I watch reviews. I'm a huge review person. So if that book hits over 4 stars, then I start reading the reviews.
Okay.
If it doesn't go over 4, it's not worth my time. Now, if it's recommended and it's under 4, I read reviews.
Okay.
There's one guy that really does great reviews. There's a couple of people that I watch that have really lengthy reviews. They really have similar likes that I do.
Yeah.
And then I know that I'll like it and have that same experience that
and
they
you
did.
rely on that more so than like those, because I'll sit there and get bored and I'm sitting there going, oh, I want to know like what to read, and I'll look and Google top books of 2019.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Right. So you're saying that's like Goodreads is like, if you really want to know what's going on, that's where you go.
Yeah.
That's where it's like legit. You're getting really good reviews. You can get an idea. Now, are you also suggesting if a book doesn't hit over 4 stars, probably just cast it?
I do, unless I see it floating in Goodreads a lot.
I think
then I feel like I should read some of the reviews to see what people say, because people are very harsh on that.
I think, because we only have 10 minutes, I've gone over, but I think for next week we should pick our top 2 or 3 books
of each genre.
Just top 2 or 3 books in general, and I'm curious to find out what the reviews are on Goodreads and see like if there's a difference of like, oh, I like this book, but it's utter shite on like there.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting. I'm curious to see. We'll have to do that next week.
That, and we should probably do it where we pick our top favorite books and see if there's a correlation with different genres. Like, why would I like this one over this one? Because Name of the Wind is science fiction or fantasy, but it's very similar to Harry Potter, which is young adult. But they're very, very close to what they're doing.
I just kind of want to test your theory on this and find out like
Name
if
of the
that
Wind
floor works.
Yeah, Name of the Wind is actually, I think, better written than Harry Potter. Yeah. I think he's a better writer
she just
than
threw down.
Yeah.
It's
The way that
We'll
I
have to
just
do that.
am fascinated by how he's written it. So
well, we're gonna have to deep dive and do. We might have to do one podcast, like all
completely
about.
of Paperback
Yeah, we
Mountain.
might have to do that because the more I'm getting into it, I'm like, we might really need to like deep dive.
It's a good one. Well, let's get to race class alignment. Oh.
I was telling her to shut up because she's like, oh, you missed the button. I'm like, really? Could you draw more attention to it?
Yeah.
God. So we were getting a little bit deep with books, and we're actually going to continue that into video games. So over the last week, I noticed something that kind of made me sad, and it made me kind of retrospect and about things. And essentially, in my realm of there's some World of Warcraft, and essentially what was going on is we had Twitch streamers pretty much airing their dirty laundry out for everybody, and it was pretty ugly.
I don't like when they do that anyway.
That's
don't
essentially
mind-
the whole point of this segment today.
I don't mind when people are, like, for example, like, I get anxious and I get nervous, and I've been kind of being a little bit more vocal about that on Twitter, but I don't leak out really personal stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I think that you can be real with people and let them know that you have insecurities, but at the same time, I don't think you should be blurting out a bunch of crap.
So some of the things that I was kind of going through this week, a lot of it, like, personally was going, like, with negativity.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, talking about not giving out your personal, like, letting people in too close or whatever it is. The thing that I'm noticing when it comes to being online is, especially nowadays with social media, we're kind of, we've been, like, pampered to think that our opinion is, like, really matters a lot. So we always have to, like, hey, I have an opinion. And you have this thing where you read the headline, you don't really read what's going on, and then you're like, here's my opinion, I know everything about it. So you're giving your truth, but you're giving it in a way that it's the truth instead of your truth. So what ended up happening was these two Twitch streamers, this one guy is known for being kind of negative, and his following is also kind of negative. And it ended up being something where he was reviewing someone, and he's kind of not necessarily coming down, but being negative, making good points, but his viewing is huge. And his followers then went and started harassing the person that he was talking about. And then it turned into, like, this big thing where it's like, the guy was like, hey, you know, you have a big following, you have big influence, why, you know, how you talk to these people, it's influencing them to go and be assholes and really just be toxic in the community. And it's kind of hard to hear someone say that, because it's like, is that really your fault? Like, yes, if you have a big influence, do you need to watch what you say? He's known for talking the way he does, but you can't control all 100,000 people if they're going to go and be douchebags to people online. So that was kind of interesting.
I think like attracts like, and I think personally, now that I've been streaming and doing other things, you really have to watch, like, what you say in the sense of making other people feel uncomfortable, or making crude remarks, or saying something and other people not liking it or understanding the way that you said it, because you only get 140 or 150 characters or whatever it may be. So with that being said, I don't think that anyone should be negative on there, because all people do is flock to negativity, and then they continuously pull that out there.
And here's my theory with negativity is I feel like with how our society is, when you're positive, I feel like a lot of people don't feel like that's like, what's it called? The authentic you. And people are drawn to negativity because they feel like if you're negative about something, because you can find literally everyone being negative. Oh, I hate this movie and this is why. They think that you're speaking the truth. Like that's you being authentic because you're not supporting something. So it's just kind of odd that, like, I was listening to this podcast with Chris Hardwick, and they were talking about how people were giving him so much shit for Talking Dead, and that he was, like, in the pocket of the network, and he's like, I'm supposed to be here to, like, cheerlead the show and support the show, but people were thinking that I was a sellout because I'm being positive and not being negative. So it's like a lot of people are flocking to the negative because they think they're like, you must be speaking the truth, you're being authentically you because you're being so negative. And I just don't think that's good. Like, people can be positive and it can be authentic.
Yeah, biggest example is Joe Rogan's podcast. Joe Rogan had Kevin Hart on there, and Kevin Hart was literally talking about the same exact thing. He was saying, because Joe Rogan was like, oh my gosh, how do you do all the things that you do? Like, Kevin Hart wakes up 5 o'clock in the morning, he's at the gym, he's working out, he's doing his stuff. Then he has literally like nonstop all these businesses he's doing. He's also in so many movies. So he's balancing that, and he has his family, all this other stuff, and he's doing tours. And he's like, I just love giving back. And he goes, all the time, I see that people are just super negative, and that is something that people just constantly crave because they're negative, and like attracts like. And I think what is...
I think they feel like it's what's authentic.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like, you're a sellout. You're, if you're sitting there and I'm talking about Sony all the time and I'm just like only good positive things, people would assume I'm getting paid by Sony to say nothing but great things versus being nothing but negative.
I really like Sony.
Yeah, and it's like, and like with this whole thing, it's like with that particular thing that was going on this week, the fight between them is like people were saying, oh, this guy is a goody and he's supporting Blizzard, and there's been shows where he's saying, hey, I'm not really happy with what they're doing, and the other guy's negative with Blizzard all the time. And it ended up, like I said, these people just went and attacked him on his social media, on his Twitter. It was insane.
Well, and that's where I don't like, because
people were like, oh, I can't believe you follow that guy. We can't be friends. It was like that.
And it happens in other genre of games too.
It does.
So we had it in The Sims a little bit. So there was a bigger Sim player, and she was super negative about something, and another Sim player who is also a streamer reached out and was like, hey, that's probably not something that you should say, or this, that.
Yeah.
And she brought all of her followers onto her, and that streamer actually went MIA for a little bit and was like, and now is terrified, and she just does streams a little bit.
That's
like,
the thing, and you have these people. Not cool. You have these people that get negative and they're wanting it, and then they go and they attack these other people, and like, oh, I hope you die, and like they're going to extremes, like they're saying these extreme things. So it's interesting. And the other thing that kind of triggered me this week is I was watching a YouTube playthrough of a game, and this girl wasn't meaning to be rude, and she's like watching this guy play, and she said, he's like, oh, this is the first time this guy's playing a game. And she's like, oh, fake gamer. And the guy corrected her quickly. And he said, new gamer, not fake gamer.
That's actually really nice.
Let's be inclusive, not exclusive. This is that kind of community. And I was like, I'm glad he caught it quick. And she was like, oh, you're right. That's wrong. I was wrong. And I'm just sitting there thinking about that. It's like, how many of us might be doing that without thinking? Yeah. Where it's like, whatever, not just gaming community in general, it's like we should all be inclusive instead of pushing people out and like, oh, well, you're not, we've talked about this before, you're not geeky enough, you don't know about this enough, you don't know too much about comics, so you can't be a Marvel.
Watch Doctor Who.
Yeah, you can't be a Marvel fan because you don't read the comics. It's this pushback, and I'm sure people are probably going to get that at the Comic-Con. Where it's like, hey, I'm here to dress up with my family because I want to. Like, well, you're not really a nerd because you guys are filthy casuals. Plug.
So the thing that I think is interesting is that it's in everything. So it's in books, it's in all this stuff.
Culture.
So with that, you know,
you're right, it is in books.
Not everyone is going to like the same stuff. We're all different. And that's why there's a bunch of people that love first-person shooters. I love first-person shooters. I'm just super competitive, and if I don't win, I rage quit. Yeah. And guess what? I know that. I turn out to be that 13-year-old that breaks controllers.
Fighting games.
Like, cannot do it. So I know what I can do.
You know, those are solo campaign.
Yeah.
You don't
either play solo campaign or I don't play it at all.
Yeah.
Because Halo. I get mad in solo campaign as well. And I love Halo. I played it nonstop from like dusk to dawn, and I seriously could not get a kill death ratio that I was happy with. So, and I still get triggered whenever you say Slayer. I'm like, Slayer in my head. I love Halo. I love first person shooters. I used to play Call of Duty all the time.
It hurts my soul when I find out that there's young gamers that haven't played. Like, what's that? I'm like,
yes. But that doesn't mean that they're
inclusive.
That doesn't mean that they're fake gamers if they haven't played.
I know.
It's just that
they're missing out.
They're missing out. But it's just the same as if I go, you've never seen Lost Boys? You've never seen Goonies?
Yeah. But you've never
seen Doctor Who? Like, I've seen a couple of Doctor Who. When people talk about it, I'm like, cool, that's awesome. Like, I like hearing about it. I don't have enough time to go watch Doctor Who. So guess what? Not gonna watch it right now. Maybe someday, but I'm not right now. I got other books and things that I'm interested in, which still makes me a nerd.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we're friends. We don't nerd out on this. We nerd out on a lot of the same things, but we don't nerd out on everything the same.
But then I can pick your brain, like Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
I like how you get excited about it.
Can you show me your character? God damn it. Like, I've been waiting to, like, for you to log in.
We'll try.
Sorry, triggered.
We'll try later. But see, I would be a first playthrough on that.
So let's have this conversation between. Have you ever felt not included? Like, have I ever made you feel like less than when it comes to like nerd stuff? Have I ever made you feel like, oh?
Maybe only when you and Shane were talking about all of that stuff on one episode, and I was just like
shaming, or were you like FOMO,
no.
like you were feeling like you missed out?
I missed out.
So, and I feel like that kind of sucks, but like I never feel that way with you. And like when you're talking about stuff that I don't understand, but like books, but it's like for me, it's like, oh, I'm excited. I really want to start reading this. Too.
Yeah.
It's like I never feel
like
that's
why I was
like
I want to play.
Gamer.
I want to play now. I want to get onto Final Fantasy because she keeps talking about it and how excited she gets. I'm like, oh, I want to make a character. I want to be a bunny. Like,
have you ever had people, like, if they were talking about me, not saying they do, but like if they're talking about me, have you ever wanted to like stand up and defend my honor and be like, no, she's enough of a gamer or she's enough of a nerd?
I don't think anyone ever said.
If someone did, would you defend my honor?
Oh, yes.
I figured it. I just
yes. I've never had that. I've never had that come up.
Have you ever had that with a friend where like someone might be talking negative or like that, and you're like, hey, you know, I always find myself defending the other half when people are complaining about something. I'm like, hey, well, you don't really know what's going on in that corner, or maybe they had a good reason for saying that. And I realize a lot of people don't take the time to filter. And kind of bringing it back to the two
like filter in their head.
Yeah, so like taking it back to the two people that were airing their dirty laundry. The guy that got swamped and attacked by the people who he's blaming the guy who's Twitch streaming, saying you should control them. I don't think he took the time to like filter and be like, is this going to be worth it to say what I need to say and like lash out? Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people just react. Like you have something that's said and you just react quickly instead of taking the time going, well, is it really worth saying what I want to say? Taking the time going, well, what points did they have? I kind of understand that. And I feel like a lot of societies like that where it's instant reacting. Like when you have something negative and then you're like, well, I'm just, you suck. Instead of like, that reminds me of all the Facebook posts. So at one point I delved into somebody who was wanting to talk crap about milk or say that milk was good. And really, of all the things, that's what we're going with?
Well, hold on. So I literally spent my whole day just responding to this dude and showing him all of my credentials. Like, look, I did this.
And they don't give a shit.
No, he didn't.
A friend of mine would get into really heated Twitter arguments to the point that he
not
does
Twitter,
not...
politics, though. Okay.
Politics? Yes, it's politics, but he did it on Twitter, and to the point where he makes sure that he doesn't get on very long.
Yeah.
Because he gets pulled in very quickly to those heated debates of just reaction. Knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, but at least he knows.
Yeah.
And then he stopped.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't stop.
And that's it for the show. And done.
So what do you guys think when you have somebody, or even if you felt like you're less of a nerd or a geek because of the things that other people are into? How do you feel? What do you do in those situations?
Do you think you might have accidentally put someone in that situation as well? Because sometimes we don't think about it.
Yeah. We're all here for...
We're all new gamers or new readers or new fanfictors.
Oh, I love fan.
We're going to do a whole episode
to show you fanfic. So,
the .net.
Yes.
That's where I go, girl.
Ah! Well, I'll have to pick your brain and see which ones you like. Okay, so on that note, we are going to be ending the show. But again, if you stayed through this whole thing or if you're just watching this segment, cool. Go ahead and hit that subscribe.
Make sure you hit that like as well.
Yes. And share it if you can, because that would be awesome.
Yeah.
We like new people, new gamers.
Yeah, and you guys can follow us on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on iTunes for if you want to listen to us and not see us.
Anchor as well. I believe that's on our Instagram that you can click. Go to our
Facebook.
Anchor.
We're also on Facebook.
We are on Facebook. Currently I'm trying to get it under Geek Responsibly, but Facebook wants to keep giving me shit and saying, I haven't seen you post that you are changing your name. I'm like, dude, change it. So we're getting into that.
So we're not currently on Facebook.
We are. Okay. It's on under Geeks and Garters. I can't get it off of that.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to get it name change.
Oh, makes sense.
Go figure. But yes, we are on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, Anchor. So all of those.
Literally
choices.
all the things.
But yes, if you have any questions, please direct message us.
Leave them in the comments.
Comments below. That would be great. But again, like, subscribe. And I'm going to be putting in the comments below our new merch. So you can get a Weekly Ketchup sticker. Yeah, and rock it on your awesome water bottle.
Because they should all be that big.
They should. Ginormous. That's the way we go.
All right, guys. So just so you can remember, I'm Bridget. This is
Jenna. And always remember to geek responsibly.